Hey guys, welcome back to an interesting video on Wild Rift. So today we're finally back with our Twitch updated complete guide, as promised when of course I covered the on-hit Twitch build, which as I said was not really the best build, but now we are going to cover what I feel is personally the best build for Twitch. But of course, before we jump into that, don't forget to check out Twitch's basic guide for his skills, leveling order, tips and tricks, as well as some combos. But without further ado, let's actually jump straight into it. So Twitch's build, basically it is the same as, I forgot who it was that I basically had this build, but I think it was the same as some other ADC that I just covered recently. I've been covering so many videos, recently. We have the daily uploads now instead of, the once every 2 days. I'm covering so many ADCs that, I can't even remember anymore. But anyways, first item we're going to go for is Berserker's Greaves. Twitch is one of the only ADCs that you want to actually go for Berserker's Greaves and not Gluttonous Greaves, because for Twitch, attack speed is just way too important. You need the attack speed to apply your stacks onto enemies, because a lot of your damage comes from not just your auto attacks but also your E and your poison. So you want to get that poison onto them as fast as possible, and you need the Gluttonous Greaves for that. So next up, we go for Shield Bow. Now Shield Bow, of course, gives you pretty decent stats, but really you want the shield, because Twitch, in my opinion, is like the squishiest ADC out of them all, and he just gets bursted down so easily. So I think the Shield Bow is going to be very, very useful in terms of keeping us safe. And you will actually see in the gameplay later, Shield Bow actually saves our life, at least twice. So we'll get into that a little bit later on. So here we have Runan's Hurricane. Next, once again, you want to be able to apply the passive, which is the poison, onto multiple people. So Runan's Hurricane allows you to apply it onto 3 people at once. So it's a really core item for Twitch. And then of course Bloodthirster is really, really OP. Gives you a ton of AD, as well as of course bonus stats when you're high on health, and gives you physical vamp. So we have to toss that in to the build. And then finally, as the last 2 items, is the classic final 2 crit items, of course being the Mole Reminder for the Armor Pen and Grievous Wounds, together with IE, of course, for additional damage, as well as additional crit damage. Of course you can swap the order around depending on the situation, but majority of the time you will need either Armor Pen or Grievous Wounds by the time you reach your second last item, which is why IE is mostly last. So for the runes, you could go for Lethal Tempo if you want even more attack speed, but I personally think that getting the 30% attack speed here with another 45% here and 15% here, as well as the 20% attack speed from Alacrity is enough. So I think that Kraken Slayer is a really good one, because in this build you have a decent amount of attack speed and a great amount of attack damage, like 40 AD here, 50 here, and you have a lot of AD at the beginning. And Kraken Slayer is going to scale out very well, both in terms of the damage it deals because of the AD you're building, as well as how often you can proc it, because you of course have a lot of attack speed. So Kraken Slayer really good here. Of course Brutal, because you're an ADC that attacks a lot. Giant Slayer, of course, because it is the best rune here, and it can deal a lot of extra damage to anybody who has additional health. As I said just now, Legend Alacrity for the attack speed, because you need to apply your stacks quickly. And for here, you can either go for Bone Plating as a defensive option, which is what I went for this game, because I felt there was a lot of threats. Or if you want something more offensive, you could go for Sudden Impact, which will of course give you the additional armor and magic pen when you exit your stealth. And for the spells, you want to go for Flash and you want to go for Ghost, pretty much just to kite around fights. You rarely ever want to go for Exhaust. You pretty much only want to go for that if like there are 3 assassins who can jump onto you, or like if you're against a Tristana, like special cases like that. If not, it's always going to be Ghost. But, having covered the build, let's, or loadout I should say, let's jump into talking about our gameplay. Alright, so now on to the gameplay. Now, as usual guys, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Any questions, queries, remarks, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I will of course be sure to address them. So in this particular game, we're in solo queue, and you're gonna actually see why Twitch is not that good as a jungler in solo queue anymore. And I'm not playing Twitch jungle, obviously I'm playing Twitch ADC, but you guys will kind of see why Twitch isn't really viable as a jungler anymore, which is what I really said in my tier list. But we're straight into the action. Blitzcrank goes in with the hook. I get exhausted by Caitlyn. I actually make a mistake here by extending the trade, because we pretty much already got what we wanted when Caitlyn used the exhaust. And because you see I try to get in extra auto attacks, I end up getting chunked out to about half health as well, which is the same as Caitlyn. So overall the trade's kind of even, except for the fact that Caitlyn used exhaust. Whereas if we just walked away, we would actually have won the trade, and that would actually have been better. So poor decision by me there. I should have just I walked away when she exhausted me, and we would have just gotten a free trade. Yeah. So briefly talking about what kind of support Twitch likes. But before that, I guess we have to jump into the action where Caitlyn is getting hooked again. And I managed to finish her off with the E, and Senna is now getting pelted as well. She's pretty low, but she's able to survive under tower. Blitzcrank gives the thumbs up. I give the thumbs up as well. She, for some reason, still walks up. Blitzcrank tries to predict the flash, but unfortunately is not able to do so. Instead, he just walks forward and just knocks her up. I'm able to get down enough stacks to be able to pop my poison and actually finish off the kill, with me and Blitzcrank both at 1 HP. We decide not to overstay because Caitlyn's now coming back to lane, so we're going to just reset and get ourselves our items. Can definitely complete the Berserker's Greaves at this point. So, back to what I was saying, in terms of supports, Twitch would love to play with an Enchanter support. So she's really great with like Lulu, Yuumi, and like those kind of champions that really want to buff you, because he is a hyper carry who is honestly does decent damage in the early game, but he's super duper squishy. And when you reach like 2-3 items, like he's a super good late game hyper carry that can destroy people as long as he can be kept safe because he has no mobility at all. But in this match, obviously we're not playing with an Enchanter, so the game plan this match is you can see here the control ward basically prevents me from sneaking up on them, which is kind of the main plan I was going for. So this is kind of what happens when you play Twitch and the enemy team knows how to play against you. There are going to be control wards everywhere, but doesn't really matter because Blitzcrank manages to hook the Senna in. I'm trying once again, but this time I learned my lessons. I walk away when I get exhausted, and I still nearly die. I live on 1 HP. I'm going to flash away just for safe measure, and Blitzcrank is trying his best to walk away, and looks like he is going to be able to do so with the help of the mana barrier. So we are both able to survive, but I do have to pop my flash in this instance, which is of course going to be worth it to save my life. Yeah, so the game plan here is if Blitzcrank can get me fed enough, it doesn't really matter if I don't have an Enchanter, because I'm so far accelerated that I should be able to pretty much just kill anybody, you know, anybody at any time, and that's kind of just the main game plan here. So once again, I tried to sneak up on them to cancel the recall, but the control ward at the tip of their bush denies it again by spotting me. So this is kind of what happens when you play Twitch jungle. They're just going to put the control ward in the river, and you're going to get seen permanently, and you can never sneak up on anyone, and this is just really annoying to play as Twitch, which is really kind of unavoidable. I would say nothing much you can really do about it. Here Hecarim comes in for the gank. I'm just going to walk straight past. I actually popped the ult here because I was trying to ult in, but ends up that the Senna flashes away and I'm not able to get the kill. So here, or not even able to get off an auto attack. Let's not even talk about the kill. So here we're going to destroy the control ward again, but you know, as I mentioned, there's going to be perma control wards all over the place, and it's really difficult as Twitch to, of course, you know, basically function as a champion, because if you're permanently spotted when you're stealth, you basically lose your entire element of surprise, and it just becomes so much worse. So yeah, it's kind of bad when enemy team spams control wards, but of course that is what they should be doing, and that's why Twitch jungle is bad, because most of the time enemy teams will now know to spam control wards against Twitch jungle, and if they plop one in the river, there's no way that you as a Twitch jungle can, you know, really do anything about the situation. So here Blitzcrank tries to run at their face and, you know, to get something done, but unfortunately nothing too much happens. I'm able to actually trade back, and I think we more or less made it an even trade by being able to pop the poison onto both of them and spread the poison to Senna as well. So here Vladimir tries to come in for a dive. Caitlyn and Senna are both kind of left at 1 HP, so it doesn't really quite work out. Senna overextends a little bit. Blitzcrank flashes for the knockup, and I'm able to actually finish off the Senna. And Caitlyn is now left on 1 HP. Now I could flash into the tower to kill her, but I didn't really think that was worth the risk, because I might just die as well from like 2 tower shots. I will definitely die from 2 tower shots, but I'm not sure if I'll take 1 or 2 tower shots. So I'm not going to take the risk because I don't want to give her my shutdown, because I have 3 kills now, and it's really not worth wasting flash and a shutdown to just get 1 kill on the Caitlyn. So we're going to have to be a little bit patient here, and instead we're going to recall, get ourselves more item components, and then we're going to head back to the lane, or I guess to the dragon in this case, because Hecarim wants to do the dragon. So now he's kind of baited us because he pinged that he wanted dragon, and now he's pinging for Herald. So me and Blitzcrank are kind of already in the area, and it basically just a fight breaks out where Caitlyn gets a lot of free damage onto Blitzcrank. Senna gets a very lucky root onto me while I was invisible, and here I'm just popping the ult to just go all in. We're able to finish off the kill onto Caitlyn, and now we're moving on to Senna. Vladimir is tanking the tower, so I'm just gonna walk up and get off more auto attacks, and I go on a rampage. Another control ward here behind in the tri-bush here, so I'm just gonna destroy that as well. Something to note is that Senna actually has the sweeping lens, so Caitlyn's actually the only one with the control ward. They don't have double control ward or anything like that, so when you destroy a control ward, there should be at least some cooldown before the next one comes up, which basically means that you know, you should have a while where you won't really be spotted. Now here Gwen, who is their jungler, is trying to come in for the steal. Now, I focused on Gwen because I assumed she was going to come in and smite, but turns out you can only see this on the replay, but she didn't actually have smite, so because I thought she was going to dash in and smite and the dragon would be lost anyway, so I stopped focusing the dragon and started focusing her because I wanted to trade the dragon for her life. But what ended up happening is she didn't have smite, so she tried to steal it with just her normal attacks, but Blitzcrank actually got the dragon, which good on him. And we got the Gwen anyway, so basically she just suicided and didn't even get the dragon, so could not have gone too much better for us. That went pretty well. And off of that, you know, we get another assist. We're now 4-0-2. We're doing really well, but of course our team is also doing really well, which is amazing. Speaking of which, Hecarim and Blitzcrank are going in. I'm just chasing down the Caitlyn, and I'm able to pop the poison to kill her. Hecarim finishes off the Senna, and Gwen is left, you know, basically useless. There was the controller back at the same position again, but in this case it really doesn't matter that they see me because, you know, I'm just running straight at them anyway. It doesn't really matter. They can't get away from Hecarim regardless. But of course I do note that it's there, so I do know I have to go into the bush to clear it, which is exactly what I'm doing now. Blitzcrank gets the ward kill. And here we're seeing if we can get some tower plates or perhaps a pick onto Seraphine. Now we can see Gwen actually pathing down, so I'm actually pinging retreat because we could be in a situation where Gwen cuts us off and the revived Senna and Caitlyn come back to lane, and you know, we're going to be caught in a 4v2, and that's not really a situation we want to be caught in. So here Blitzcrank once again looking for an engage. So Blitzcrank's been getting a lot of good hooks like this one, for example, which he does really well. I get the full stacks on him, being careful not to step on the trap. I pop the poison. And the poison that's on her ends up actually picking up the kill, which does happen from time to time, but not too often, honestly. Here we're gonna get Hecarim, or is gonna finish off the Caitlyn as well, and now we're going for the Senna. We pop the poison on her, we go godlike, and she's now only worth 125 gold. You know, barely more than the cannon minion at this point because she's now 0 and 5. Caitlyn is 0 and 4, and we've been kind of hard stomping the lane, of course with the help of our Blitzcrank mostly. Of course, you know, if you have a good Blitzcrank that lands hooks to feed you, you obviously get very fed. Like, I'm obviously the most fed member in the game. Hecarim as well as Vladimir are really close behind me as well. So my team has a huge gold lead. It's like a 6k gold lead at this point. Of course, most of the gold lead is on the three of us. Malphite's actually losing to Yasuo. And actually Blitzcrank also has like 1,000 gold lead over Senna. The main reason why our team is losing is because, not losing, but it's not winning as hard, is because Yasuo is almost 2k gold ahead of Malphite, which is kind of the main reason. Now Malphite's really interesting because he has like first strikes. I thought he was going AP, but he actually built tank. So he has like, you know, the tank boots as well as the thorn mill as his first item. So I don't know why he went for first strike as a rune. That's pretty strange, but anyways, we go back, we clear the wave, we have enough for our Runans, and we're gonna just pick up our Runans, which of course is a huge power spike. Now we're gonna head back to the lane because the wave is there. Of course I could have stayed to clear the wave, but you know, I decided not to because I can complete an item spike and I don't really need that wave. Malphite is busy dying again, and he has to actually ult away, as you guys can see from the mini map. He has to ult away to save his own life, so that's not too odd. He has actually managed to trade like 1-for-1 to the Yasuo the whole time though. Another control ward destroyed. So here Blitzcrank tries to find a hook onto Caitlyn. He gets it, and I'm in the backline just launching pellets onto everybody. I pop my poison, and nobody really dies here, but they're all pretty low. So here my whole team is now here except Malphite, who is basically useless anyway because he doesn't even have ult, so it doesn't really matter. Here we are just seeing if anything can get done. Vladimir walks into a trap, which kind of baits the enemy team to walk forward. I'm trying to stack up on people. Hook comes in, I pop the poison, and unfortunately I die to Seraphine's double E, and Seraphine gets the shutdown, which is obviously not good that we died, but overall it's still kind of fine because we died and like 2 people on the enemy team died. Alright, actually now Blitzcrank kind of just died and wasted his flash as well. Not sure what was going on over there. Turns out to be not too good, and Yasuo is getting the bot lane tower. And Malphite, I doubt he can stop him at all. So yeah, Yasuo just ignores Malphite, gets the bot lane tower. Actually sees Hecarim. Hecarim is now going to run him down. Malphite goes in with the ult. Hecarim pushes him back, and now he has nowhere to run. Surprisingly, he actually lasts very long alive, so I actually come over to help, kill him, but because of the wind wall, I'm not able to finish him off, and Hecarim picks up the kill. Now, I assume we lost Dragon already because we were dead and Hecarim was on the opposite side of the map. I have no idea why the enemy team is doing the Dragon so slow, but we can see Caitlyn on vision, not at the Dragon, so it means that the Dragon is going really slowly. Seraphine gets a huge 3-man ult into 3-man stun, but no one is there to follow up. So here, I'm really low now. I'm trying my best to survive, and the shield bow actually saves my life here. It actually comes off cooldown just in the nick of time, and it actually saves my life. Without the shield bow there, Gwen would have actually killed me. So here is, one of the instances where shield bow saves your life. Of course, it's going to happen from time to time, and hopefully often, because that's kind of the whole reason you're building shield bow. So shield bow, with the huge save. Now here I want to back off because we pushed in the wave, the enemy team is all respawning. Like the bot lane just respawned and Gwen's gonna respawn soon. Yasuo is here, but Blitzcrank is really aggressive. He wants to get something done here, so I'm trying to ping him back because the enemy team is gonna respawn. We don't want to just throw away our lives here, so that's gonna be no good. So instead I'm just gonna go for the minion wave here. Push in the wave, and I'm really trying to back off here. Blitzcrank is pinging to engage, and I really don't want to engage because this is too dangerous. So I'm just gonna walk away and make it clear I don't want any part of this. So here we can spot Gwen in the jungle. Blitzcrank hooks over the red buff just to be annoying. I actually thought he hooked the Gwen, so I immediately went into stealth to try to get my double stacking thingy workings, but end up it was not actually her. Now I'm gonna go pick up the red buff, of course, because red buff is gonna be really useful. And we see a huge wave at the bot, so we're going to go ahead and clear that wave. At the same time, on the way, we're going to clear the Krux as well. Of course, Twitch now does horrible damage to jungle monsters, but even so, you still clear jungle monsters relatively alright when you get like a couple of items. Of course, it's mainly his first clear that's really bad, but after it's not too bad. So here a huge fight breaks out at the top lane, and I am able to get my Bloodthirster on my base. So I base and I actually walk to the fight. I'm trying to see if I can maybe get there to help my team. Unfortunately, my Hecarim and my Vladimir, who are the two most fat members, actually die. They're actually chasing Malphite. I'm going into stealth, so if they overcommit to the Malphite, I can possibly find a kill. Caitlyn goes to a horrible position. I'm able to basically just one-shot her, and Yasuo is now the next target. He actually gets onto me and ults me, but I still have my shield bow up and I have my team, so I know I'm in no trouble. My shield bow does not even proc, so we easily get the kill onto Yasuo. Yasuo has a really strange Black Cleaver into Wit's End kind of build, so he's not really going full damage. He's sort of going like half damage, half tanky, which is fine, but means he won't be so squishy. Now Blitzcrank hits all the CC on Seraphine. Unfortunately, Seraphine is able to stasis, and I have to actually flash away from the Gwen because Gwen does a lot of damage. Protector's Vow was huge there from the Blitzcrank. Pretty much blocked all of the damage from Gwen's ulti third charge, which is amazing. And here I'm seeing if Blitzcrank can find the pick. I'm invis, but it looks like that's not quite the case, or it could be the case. So here I go out of invisibility. I'm trying to get the stacks onto people. I get exhausted, unfortunately, so I have to kind of kite back. Shieldbow once again kind of saved my life there. And actually Hecarim could have helped me block the Caitlyn ult so that I would survive, but he doesn't do so, so I end up dying. I don't quite blame him. I mean, he is relatively squishy. He has like the Yomus as the first item, so he's not exactly the tankiest instead of starting off with the Sunder into the Black Cleaver or the other way around. However, here Yasuo tries to 1v2 Hecarim and Malphite, but these two are tanky boys, and it doesn't quite work out. Yasuo dies. However, in the grand scheme of things, it kind of works out because they both die. Now Vladimir is stuck in a 1v3. He's trying to get out. He manages to kill Senna, but unfortunately, because he doesn't dodge the Gwen ulti, he gets bursted down. I actually think that in a world where he dodged that Gwen ulti third charge, I think there is a world that he kills both of them, because his healing was coming in, but it just wasn't coming in fast enough from his ulti. So here me and Blitzcrank trying to put a stop to these two getting our tower. We're also trying to basically just kill them. So I'm just running at them and I get hit while invis. Obviously, it's kind of obvious that I'm running at them, so I decide to give up the chase because Blitzcrank isn't chasing either. So here the third dragon is coming up, and we already have two dragons, so this could be a dragon soul for us. But of course, dragon soul is not really the biggest deal in the world, but it's just something nice to have. Especially Ocean Dragon Soul, a lot of healing on that, and that's gonna be really sweet. So here Hecarim is trying to take red buff. I'm just helping him out. He's doing it pretty slow, so I'm just helping him out a little bit, and he is able to finish it off, and we do get the red buff. Now we can move on to the dragon, but before that, I'm just gonna push out this wave so that we can have a pushing lane. The enemy team pretty much has given up on the dragon. Only Caitlyn's really bothering to come here. Yasuo is just split pushing, and we can see 2 people in the mid lane pushing as well. Malphite is actually dealing with the push, which is fine slash good. Caitlyn's now not even interested anymore. She's in the blue buff area. Seraphine is now the one just tossing random junk at us, and we're easily able to pick up the dragon. Not too big of a contest here. Yasuo has pushed all the way into the inhib, and we are there just in time to recall. Malphite's keeping him there, and he can't really go away. Here, me and Hecarim are here to finish the job onto the Yasuo. Malphite out comes in, which I don't even think is necessary because I don't think there's a way Yasuo gets out. But we are able to secure the kill onto Yasuo. We're now 10-2 and 11, by the way, at 13k gold. First 3 crit, not even crit, first 3 items completed, and now we're going for the anti-tank item, mainly because Senna and Yasuo are getting a little bit tanky, and we can just get them killed more easily. So here we're going for the Baron, obviously, because we have found a pick on Yasuo, and we're a lot stronger than the enemy team, so we are able to secure the Baron here. And Gwen tries to hop in for a steal. We are able to kill her. And here I have my ult on already, so I'm just gonna flash the wall. I'm gonna QSS the Seraphine Charm, and we're able to kill Senna. We're on the chase for Caitlyn. Hecarim picks up the kill, and we get kills onto all of them. At this point, only Yasuo is left alive. So with the Baron and the enemy team on like 40-second death timers, this is a possible end angle. So here, we're all just pushing down mid. Malphite is coming as well. Accidentally tanked the tower shot. Only Yasuo here to defend. And I'm just basically going to focus the tower. And we're going to try to end the game. Malphite goes in with the ulti, and I don't really care about this. I'm just going to focus the base. I don't really care about killing Yasuo. I just want to win the game, which we do. So I'm going to leave you guys with the stats as usual. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and goodbye.